most helping personalities, but I think it depends from person to person. So success cannot be defined on these all parameters. It actually depends on the individual, what he wants in his life.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. So thank you, Utkarsh.
Thank you,
We'll
ma'am.
move to the next. Fine. Next
Venit,
presenter.
Venita Sau, can you present your PPT now?
Yes, I'm presenting.
Okay, then continue.
Good morning, everyone. I am Vinita Tahu, and my topic for presentation is suicidal thoughts and management. We will discuss why and how we get suicidal thoughts and how we could manage those thoughts. These are the subtopics on which we will lead our discussion. Let us first look from where the suicide word came from. It came from the Latin word suicidium, which means self-killing. Suicide is an act of self-killing when the person is obsessed with the pain and does not want to live with that pain. So he want to escape the world, and he wanted to end his or her life by committing suicide. So we can say that by committing suicide, person does not want to die, but he doesn't want to live his or her life. If you have frequent thoughts on dying, and if you are thinking on harming yourself and saying that you should not live, this means your suicidal thoughts are crossing your mind. Let us see how worse the condition is. Among the people who died in 2019, about 67% are the ones who are adult and fall under the age group from 18 to 40 years. According to WHO, more than 7 lakh people die every year due to suicide. That means one person every 40 seconds. This is the statement stated by General of WHO. The number of suicide can be more as some countries are underreported and misclassify the cause of the death. So let us see the reason why suicidal thoughts occur. The reasons can be inability to deal with perceived failure, stressful life situations, fear to face problem, chronic pain illness, unemployment, loss of social status, loss of hope, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, and as we have seen that youth commit more suicide than other age groups. The reason being the academic failure, exam stress, depression, and bullying, cyberbullying, property dispute issues, divorce, separation, breakup of a relationship, drug or alcohol abuse, and a financial problem. Suicide is getting common among young people. The reason are the academic pressure. So in India, our school system is like giving more emphasis on excellence in the exam rather than facilitating child's growth and development. They get they due to which children or students get less time to explore other activities in which they are interested in. Into 2020, I have heard the news like 17-year-old girl of the 17-year-old girl, the daughter of daily wage worker, killed herself because of the fear of not being able to pass a crucial entrance exam. There are more such cases. And the rise of internet dependency leads students and young people an exposure to online addiction. Because of that addictiveness, the people commit mostly students commit suicide. They went through all the mental trauma, sleep loss, depression, and suicidal thoughts. So this in 2020, in the month of July, a 13-year-old died by suicide after losing in an online game. And the similar case is reported by the same age group boy. He himself killed because his father asked him to eat food and stop playing. And also he argued with his brother, and the elder one killed himself. And we as a college student also suffer academic pressure, like we face problem in adapting to new environment, and management of extracurricular activities and side stuff with academic studies. Also, we face bullying. We face we face such problems. You know that in some country, physician-assisted suicide is legal. This is called as euthanasia, which is the painless killing of a patient suffering from an incurable and painful disease or in an irreversible coma. This is a device which is named as Sarco machine. What happens in this device is here we down the device lowers the oxygen level and make it full of nitrogen so that people can die peacefully. This is done in request of the patient who is suffering from a disease which is incurable. The symptoms of suicidal thoughts. If the person is talking about killing self and unusual mood changes like sudden anger on social things, showing irritability, loss of interest in the things in which they were interested in before or enjoying previously, withdrawn from the family, friends, relationship, distancing from loved ones, and addicting to alcohol, showing hopelessness, mentioning about guilt and shame, deteriorating academic performance. These are some symptoms of suicidal thoughts. So let us discuss how we can manage these thoughts. First of all, I would say that we should keep ourselves busy in the things which we enjoy, which makes us feel and realize. Because when we socialize ourselves and we do the thing which we love, that increases the level of dopamine. Dopamine is a we can say it is a happy hormone. You will feel good and your thinking ability will increase. If I'm saying that you should get yourself busy, that does not mean that you should deny the situation or problem that you are in. Uh, but you should avoid that thought, because if you get busy, you will feel good, and the you will gain the ability to think on that problem. You can also connect with people, because sharing the feelings and problems with the people you trust and friends and family can help you if you share your problems. Socializing is one of the things which you can do, which will benefit your mental health also. Exercise is one of the way, and involving in activities you enjoy, I said earlier. And if you observe any person in depression or anyone who is suffering from mental illness, you can be supportive to them. You can listen their problem efficiently and carefully. You can give hope that alternatives are possible and assure that the problem will save not forever and will be solved. Don't leave the person alone, and don't criticize or blame them. Ask why they want to die, why they are thinking in that way. And don't make them feel guilty by blaming for their problem. And empathize them. You may say, I can understand your pain, or I am with you and don't feel alone. At last, I would conclude that it is very important for every one of us to get aware about suicide, and it is responsibility of everyone to support a depressed and hopeless person. We must take care of our mental health in order to prevent ourselves from suicidal actions. We should all have to look for the end of the problem, not for the end of the life. And if you are suffering any thoughts like of suicide, uh, it would be advised that you should either go for counseling or to a psychiatrist if you have that thought. These are my references. Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask.
Okay, questions for Vinita?
Vinita, that Sarco machine you discussed isn't it madness?
No, I don't think so. Because if the person is suffering from the pain or the disease which is not bearable for them, it is his wish that he could opt for euthanasia. It
But
depends on the patient if he wants.
the mentality of a person is not rigid. It keeps on changing from time to time. At that particular time, he thinks that he does not want to live. But what if he would continue for next 15 to 20 days? Then he would change his mind.
Yes, he could change his mind, but what if like if I am suffering with pain, I just go for why to suffer kind of thoughts anymore if it is incurable.
Okay, ma'am, please can you just explain? I am disturbed by this one.
Vivek, I didn't get you. Can you please explain?
Ma'am, that they are like promoting suicide by that machine. And I think that mentality does not remains always the same. For times people think that this problem is unsolvable, but after they solve, they look back and think, oh, I was stressing just about this small problem and like that stuff. So isn't it like that they are just promoting people to die?
Vivek, which machine are you talking about?
Ma'am, she just explained about a machine who is there for painless death.
Okay, so
And
you are you talking about euthanasia?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you just give me 2 minutes? Just 2 minutes. Actually, see, my daughter is troubling me, so I was little unable to hear. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I'm talking. Okay. See, Vivek, I'll tell you. In medical science as well, a lot of changes have taken place, wherein it is not just about the medicines or the treatment, but what exactly a patient is expecting or wanting. Informed consent is one area wherein a lot of efforts have been made. Medical humanities is another field that has recently emerged, wherein instead of just focusing upon treating the patient, but what he wants, the entire treatment process, the counseling, and many other things are included in that. All right, so treatment is not just focused on medicine, but various other domains, fields are included, arts, to movies, to many other things. And through these, how the medical science is looked at is also analyzed and observed. Now, talking about, see, euthanasia, now see, a lot of people actually they suffer from terminal illnesses, and which obviously have no cure. The thing is that they have to undergo a lot of suffering and pain, right? And when it is actually known that there is not going to be any further improvement in the life of the patient. The other thing is that from the perspective of the families, the attendants or the relatives of the person who is actually suffering or undergoing this terminal ailment. Now the thing is that again, monetary investment, financial crisis may arise out of just one family member's illness, right? And when it is known that there might not be any further improvement in the condition, there is suffering. So many people and many social workers have also voiced their concerns, raised their voices that they should actually be allowed euthanasia. And euthanasia doesn't mean that every now and then anybody may ask for it, decide for it, who is physically fit, just mentally he is suffering. So doesn't mean that he would be allowed or should be allowed to actually opt for it, right?
Yes, ma'am. Means it is decided by the doctor whether the patient is eligible or not. Thank you.
So my point is that decided not, I think, by the doctor, but obviously doctors diagnosis, another thing is important, but the patient's family. So I'll tell you that I knew one family whose son was suffering from this sickle cell anemia. And the thing is that they had made they actually had to sell all their properties, everything. The thing was that obviously they wanted to save the life of their child, but it was actually 100% sure that the child is not going to survive, but they had to actually sell all their properties. They were in a way on the roads trying saving the him, but that didn't happen actually. This is actually a kind of a debate wherein you'll find people on opposite sides. But this doesn't mean, euthanasia doesn't mean that anybody can actually opt for it and he'll be allowed to just stop living. No, it's basically for people who are undergoing terminal illnesses, suffering, and they just want to stop that pain from further being lived, right? Fine. So any other thing?
No, ma'am.
Anybody who has a different opinion to what I said or what Vivek has been asking for?
Ma'am, why people are criticizing euthanasia?
Vinita, can you repeat your question?
Ma'am, I asked that why people are criticizing euthanasia. If there is no option, then anyone means the patient can opt. It's his
Because
or her
yes, because
wish.
see, actually, Vinita,
Yes, ma'am.
because see, the thing is that this may be misused. Okay, we all know that, because there are a lot of other. Just a second, give me 2 minutes. My daughter is out of control now. Just 2 minutes, huh? Yeah, Vinita. So, as I was saying, now the thing is that, see, when options are available to you, the thing is that these might be misused. So, that is why, from certain quarters, you will get some kind of criticism. It may emerge, so that this misuse can actually be avoided. All right. For example, I'll give you one example wherein there is a possibility that we know that there is this illegal organ business involved, right? The selling and purchase of organs. So this may promote this kind of an industry. The other thing is that wherein families, they want to get rid of one of their family members because of property and other issues involved, again economic gains or other issues involved, again this may promote that. Right, so this way actually this may be misused. That is why you find some kind of a what should I say, criticism, as you had said, from various quarters. The other thing is that the kind of values that we have, the kind of other issues, as I've said, which involve your morals to values, might also emerge. So that is why this kind of criticism you'll see happening from other quarters.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, anything else?
Ma'am, actually the list is over. Only this much people given their name to
Okay.
for today's presentation.
Okay, fine. So, Shivam, thank you, and thank you all the presenters, and all of you presented on various topics. And I'm sure that everybody was actually listening to all the presenters attentively, and that must have added to your understanding, knowledge. Now, the thing is that for coming weeks now, all of you know that your lab exams and other things are going to begin. We will continue with this exercise. Obviously this is the TA activity. So next class onwards, actually maximum as many as students who can actually come and present, we'll just proceed with that. Okay, Shivam? So instead of 8, if
Okay,
we,
ma'am.
yeah, if we can go ahead with 15 or 20, I think that will be good, because that ways we'll be able to finish this activity in time. Okay. So
Mm, we
Shivam
have
and Samruddhi, yeah.
I have opened the form for all of them to fill, like as much as people want, they can participate for today's presentation. But only eight has given their name.
Okay, so please see, this is not Shivam's or Samruddhi's activity. You are going to get marks for it. And my suggestion to you would be to get rid of this activity as soon as possible, because then your main exams, written exams, and other things will begin. And then again, these sessions will also be over. And don't expect that after we are over with the lab sessions and other sessions, and I'm going to entertain. That will not happen, because obviously I will get engaged in other activities. So it's your task, and you decide, finish it off. And you had told me earlier as well that you have already prepared the presentation. So why this hesitation or the wait? So just volunteer, not volunteer, but give your names to Shivam and Samruddhi, and finish off this task as early as possible. All right, fine. Say yes. I want to get
Okay,
a
ma'am.
response.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so please do that. And the CR should actually see how much time do we have. And accordingly, for each session, you fix the number of presenters.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Anything that you want to share, ask? And I hope this invite wala thing is resolved, because I've again added a lot of people, the email IDs which were shared. Few students contacted me personally as well. I've done that in case anybody is facing any problems, so do let me know. Share your concerns on the Google Classroom, in the Google Classroom. Fine. And I had also said, if you also have some good content